You already know. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. We hear my trash talking trackies in between these white lines, and I could not think of a better place to tell this story. One of my favorite stories. For those of you who don't know, I'm recording this July 10th. 2024. As we start to approach mid-July, early August, we start getting that itch. That football itch starts burning a little bit, and I gotta scratch the itch by explaining to you what this game is really about, how this game actually is meant to mold men, how the game is actually meant to teach life. It was, never forget this, 2009, member of a college football team, Stony Brook University Seawolves, who is now currently we're competing in the CAA, the Colonial Athletics Association, but back then we were in the Big South, right? And got to tell you, that year was incredibly special. It was my first year with the organization or with the program. I had previous 2 years I spent. 1 year I had torn my ACL. The next year I was working at a gym, and then I got to Stony Brook. I wasn't eligible to play because I transferred. This was before the transfer portal. So, I had to be the scout team guy. I had to be the guy that kind of was constantly helping the starters get ready throughout practice, and it was only fitting that season ended in a championship. And I was with the linebackers throughout the year, and it's about the moments, all right? It's about the moments when in regards to when you're talking about the things that are truly, truly special about this game. It's about capturing the moments, all right? As I mentioned, I was part of the linebackers group, and for those of you who aren't familiar with how college football works, but there's position groups, and you really get tight with your unit, all right? So throughout that year, we as linebackers, and the reason you get so tight is because you understand how college football works. You understand it's a business, and these moments in this group, the position group won't be the same every single year. You just know that in regards to how recruiting works, in regards to how everything works. So this is why this was so special for that specific team that day to win a Big South championship that specific day. It was so surreal seeing that previously. This is 2009, so that same weekend, my alma mater, my high school alma mater, Good Counsel, won their first WCAC championship after losing, I believe it was close to 6 years at that point, about 6 or 5 years in a row to DeMatha. That was just so, it was all set up. It was all set up to be a very, very special day, and it was, all right? So as far as the Big South Championship, the game in itself, it's a very back and forth season, because we ended the season 6-5. However, we still had an opportunity to win our conference because the conference wasn't really that strong, but there was like the dominant team in the conference, which was the Liberty Flames, a team in which had just beat the shit out of us the year prior, 30-0, right? So we get to a situation where it's us versus them for what we called a Big South championship, because the way it worked is whoever won the tiebreaker, it was technically a tiebreaker in regards to our record in the Big South, but whoever won the head-to-head actually is the team that can call themselves the actual Big South championships, because that's what happens when you're talking about a tiebreaker. The first thing you look at is the head-to-head. So we did end up winning it, and it was a special moment. There were so many special moments in that game. I'll probably don't have time to talk about all of them, but I want to talk to you specifically about the linebacker core, the linebacker group, and give you a lesson on how important it actually is to be ready, all right? If you want to build a championship organization, you want to build a championship team, you got to make sure that your backups are ready. You got to make sure that the people that are second string got to be ready to come in at any moment's notice, all right? So started the game, we're doing our normal linebacking group, drills and things like that. And at the time, my linebacker coach was a guy named Coach Trick. Coach Trick, he finished the linebacker drills pretty early that game, because he wanted to give our leader, our heart and soul, the heart and soul of the Stony Brook football program was a guy named Tyler Santucci, who's currently the believe he's a defensive coordinator now for Georgia Tech. He was the D coordinator at Duke, right? So he was our leader. He was our heart and soul. So Coach Trick gives him the mic, for so to speak, gives him the platform to speak to us as a linebacker group before the game, and he looks all of us in the eye. Looks all of us in our eye. He goes, "Look, never played for a championship, fellas. Never played for a championship." And he ended that speech by telling, "Look, I love every single last one of you." I mean, he would be the one. He was our soul, man. Our heartbeat. He was our heartbeat. And anybody who's ever been chosen to be a captain of a football team like myself can resonate with that feeling of understanding, hey, you know, you got your guys looking up to you. You got your teammates. This ain't the coaches. This ain't no bullshit, this ain't no bullshit speech where you have an agenda. This is actually you being chosen to be the leader of your peers, all right? So he gave us that speech, and then it was towards the end of the first half, I believe it was, either the first quarter or the second quarter, where Tyler, Coach, I call him Coach Tooch now, but back then we called him it was just Tooch before he got the coach title. So Tooch comes over to Coach Trick. He jumps just like this. He's limping to him. He goes, "Hey," he goes, "Hey, go tell Craig to start getting ready," because Craig was the backup middle linebacker. And what happened was Tooch actually ended up, I think it was like a broken ankle. He had a severe injury to his ankle, and he couldn't go. So there you have it. You had your heart and soul, the heart and soul of the program, who had to leave the game early, and it came time. Look, you got to step up. And again, I was part of that linebacker crew throughout the entire year, and I remember having conversations with Craig about, they don't like to take Tooch out. Tooch is the heart and soul. So, when it came time of that moment in that situation, we're in a championship, you have to step up. And I'll never forget when we got into the locker room, Coach P looks at Craig. I mean, it wasn't just Coach P. All of us kind of just looked at Craig and said, "Hey, let's go. Let's go. It's your time to step up." And that's a huge lesson that all of us got to take. And regardless of if you're into football or not, you got to understand that your backups, the people that are behind you, whether you're in business, whether your family, whatever, you got to be constantly getting people ready, because you never know when it's going to be that time for them to step up and go win the proverbial championship, whatever the championship may be in your line of work, or in your world, or whatever it is you're trying to create, whatever that championship feeling is. You got to have your backups ready to go whenever it's necessary. That's how you build a championship organization, all right? That being said, main website to check out to dive deeper into all my work. If you want someone to come in and teach your organization about how to create that cohesive unit, how to create that championship culture, the main website is makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. One-stop shop for all your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.